you I was underwhelmed with him, man. I just didn't want to waste anybody's time with him. Let's talk about Desmond Reid, the running back from Pittsburgh there. Look, man, let me just say this. I don't do player comps. I can't stand player comps. But what I wrote down in my notes was he's Deuce Vaughn. Right. And here's what you got to consider about somebody being Deuce Vaughn is that as Cowboy fans in particular, I know it's 31 other teams that's watching us right now. I appreciate you guys. But Cowboy fans have a real intimate knowledge with the Deuce Vaughn type of guys. And no matter how good you might be in college or how decent you might be in preseason, you know, there are things that, you know, hold you back from a physical standpoint, from your phenotype, from your size and all this kind of stuff. And I think he like the same height. They like 5'6", 180, and they even play similarly, right? Like they work the outside stuff really well. They catch the ball. They're kind of the gadgety type dudes or whatnot, shifty, create their own space, but they are a little bitty. But the difference between Deuce Vaughn and Desmond Reid, and I think this will kind of give you a good feel for where he stacks versus a Deuce Vaughn type running back, is that Deuce was not afraid to run in between the tackles. Like Deuce was a little bitty, but Deuce was he was a muscle. Like he was one big muscle, so he wasn't afraid of running in between the tackles. I think Desmond Reid sneezes every time his coach calls a play to go in between the tackles, and he ends up bouncing plays outside, and that ends up, you know, it could be a loss. It could be a big play. But when we get to the National Football League, if we need you to press B gap, we need you to press B gap. And I didn't see a whole bunch of Desmond Reid pressing B gap. Deuce was a lot better at that. Also, too, think about Desmond Reid, or think about, you know, Deuce Vaughn when he was in college. Deuce wasn't a terrible blocker for his size, because Deuce Vaughn is one big muscle. So even as like a lead blocker, as a pass blocker, Deuce Vaughn was very willing. He was a little bitty, and he was a big muscle, but he was very willing. Desmond Reid ain't a good run or pass blocker at all. You know what I mean? So now when you look at Desmond Reid, like where does he kind of fit in this whole thing? He's going to be in the day 3, you know, range somewhere. It depends on what you like in your guys. But if you want a Desmond Reid type guy, somebody that's bursty or somebody that can make plays on their own, then you can just opt to get like a bigger version of him a couple of rounds prior. Now, Desmond Reid may be like an undrafted type guy because he's little bitty, and I think teams do that to the little bitty guys. I have him down to my extra. So that means if he goes anywhere between round 5, round 6 or 7, or just not drafted at all, I think that's kind of where he's going to go. I got him in the extras. Y'all tell me what you think about Desmond Reid. The one thing that he's really good at, though, I like him catching the football, but I'm telling y'all about Deuce Vaughn so I can paint this picture for you. If you don't have a quarterback that's incredibly accurate, and the Cowboys have a quarterback that's incredibly accurate, you still have to account for that quarterback being accurate with a target that's 5'5" versus a defender that might be 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1". You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be a lot of struggles in place for you if you have a guy like Desmond Reid. I'm not a big fan. I was kind of underwhelmed. If you're going to be a bursty guy, if you want a bursty guy, go get Johnson from Nebraska. Go get Price from Notre Dame. If you're going to be like later down in the line, I would rather you get Singleton from Penn State. He's a guy that can give you bursty plays, big plays down the field. He won't be as elusive, but he'll be a better guy. Jaden Ott is another guy that if you want, you know, if Reid is a guy that goes in the 7th round, then Ott is a guy that can go for you in the 6th round, right? But I'm going to do everything I can to avoid the little bitty shifty dudes, but that's just where we at with it.